What's up again, my viewers? Your King of the Night, Vincent Valentine, EX Turk, and this hoodie will play special significance in this discussion topic. Now, this discussion actually comes from a viewer because, I also do viewers, fan discussions too. And this will be talking about the mystery of the Sephiroth clones. Hence why I play the music I'm playing and why I'm wearing the hood the way I am. The Sephiroth clones. Let's talk about the Sephiroth clones. Now, the first time we seen the Sephiroth clones were when we went back to Nibelheim right after Cosmo Canyon. And then notice the town that supposedly burnt down the ground still looks like it did before it got burned down. And notice there's no people except hooded people. Now, this is the creepiest thing. Sephiroth has been making clones the same way Hojo has, using civilians. Civilians become Sephiroth clones. And this is where I would call it the Sephiroth cult. If you know Final Fantasy VII, you know the scene where Sephiroth throws his clones off the mountain. Because they were unworthy to his cult. These clones form a cult. That's called the Sephiroth cult. The only things that these Sephiroth clones know are the words Sephiroth, Promised Land, Genova. These were actually once real people. And again, this is also a fan theory as well, so. But my theory is Sephiroth took any remaining survivors during that attack and pretty much made clones of himself. And I know this is gonna contradict what I say. This is gonna contradict things because this will also we're also gonna look into the compilation of Final Fantasy VII. The only two characters we know in Crisis Core that were able to clone themselves were Angeal and Genesis. Angeal's clones created monsters and beasts, except for Lazard, because Lazard knew how to perfect the formula. But Genesis was just a copy of himself, but with different weapons and different skill set, using just regular soldiers from Shinra. And Sephiroth's clones are used by civilians, by casual civilians of Nibelheim, because that's where they originally come from. You don't, besides the Northern Crater, and that's when Sephiroth's at the Northern Crater, you don't actually see Sephiroth clones, and that's the hooded guys that I'm talking about right now. You'll see in the thumbnail. You'll see in the thumbnail. But Sephiroth clones, you only see them in Nibelheim. You don't see them anywhere else. That's why I wonder how creepy and mysterious these clones are, and how strong are they really? Because we don't see them fight, we just see them saying the same thing over and over. Sephiroth, Promised Land. And that's why I said this is a big discussion topic. Really big discussion topic. I think the Sephiroth clones are pretty much incomplete forms. That's probably why they were the hoods. Maybe they're regular citizens deformed. Because we don't actually know what's under the hood. We don't actually know what's under the hoods of these Sephiroth clones. We just know the same phrases. Sephiroth, Genova, Promised Land. Meteor sometimes. And this is where we don't even know what they look like. You just have hoods on. So I wonder in the remake we get to see detail of what they look like. Are they deformed people? We don't even see a strand of hair, so we don't know if they have the same hair as Sephiroth. Or maybe they just wear the hoods because maybe they look exactly like Sephiroth. Like, so identical, they have long silver hair and green eyes. And that there's two genders of these people. Because, Sephiroth used citizens in Nibelheim After the burning, all the surviving citizens rebuilt Nibelheim. Oh, I meant to say Nibelheim. I'm getting close. I'm playing too much Final Fantasy 15 because I'm getting it close to. I'm getting confused with Niflheim, but no, Nibelheim. Okay, in Nibelheim. In Nibelheim, Nibelheim is built up back like it never happened. I think these Sephiroth clones are actually smarter than what they look like. I think there's more to the Sephiroth clones than what you think. And this is a fan theory, but I think that they're smarter than you think because they built Nibelheim like nothing happened. Everything was normal. Tifa's piano was in Tifa's house. Now that should not be in Tifa's place if Nibelheim got burnt to the ground. That should be to ash. And in the pictures, the Shinra files that were in Tifa's old house. Now the Sephiroth clones are probably smarter than what they think. The Sephiroth clones are probably even worse than you think. Maybe they don't have to be physically strong. Because everything looked just like it did before. Cloud's house looked like it did before. Everything looked like it did before Crisis Core. So, I think they're smart because you'll also see them follow them to the Northern Crater. Somehow they got to the Northern Crater. Somehow they were able to climb up to the Northern Crater. Now, if they do have Sephiroth cells, and they do because they're Sephiroth clones, I think it's possible. I think it's very possible that because of that they could survive the cold from the mountain that they climbed on to get to the northern cavern, which brings a lot of questions. If Sephiroth clones are from Nibelheim, could it be possible that some Sephiroth clones migrated other places of the world? And are there still Sephiroth clones even after Sephiroth's death? Which is another mystery we could get into, Could it be possible that there's still clones left even after Sephiroth's death? Could it be possible that some migrated everywhere, but they mostly come from Nibelheim because that's where they originated from? Sephiroth took ideas from Hojo's formula, Genesis's formula, and Angeal's formula, and did what Genesis did, because Genesis kidnapped soldiers from soldiers to make his clones. I think it's possible any remaining survivors of the Nibelheim attack, Sephiroth has kidnapped them and turned them into clones by genetically modifying his genes all over the place. Or maybe it could be possible that maybe Sephiroth is the one who's responsible. And maybe maybe Sephiroth's not the one responsible for creating his clones. Maybe it's Hojo. Maybe Hojo found other civilians and stuff like that. And that's probably why the clones came to be. Maybe Hojo has took innocent people and tried to create Sephiroth. The ones that didn't turn to monsters from the Mako reactor are the ones who possibly are the ones that possibly turned into these clones. But it's a mystery that where they're actually from. We just know they got Sephiroth's genes mapped onto them. And these clones are really smart because how is it possible Nibelheim gets built back? Like nothing has happened. The Nibelheim, it's almost as if the Nibelheim attack never happened. That these clones are so smart, they put everything or bought everything and reconstructed it as if it was the same thing. But my question is, how would they get family photos of Tifa, Cloud, and all the people who lived in Nibelheim? Which is very strange and particular, unless the Sephiroth clones have been following you all this time. Maybe when Cloud joins Avalanche, Sephiroth clones have been following Cloud close by, being undetected, unnoticed. And I guess we'll be able to see what happens in the remake. If we see some hooded characters that you can't see their face, we'll know that they're Sephiroth clones. Maybe there was one who's been watching Cloud and them the whole time, all the way to Cosmo Canyon to Nibelheim, and then some went and spied on you afterwards. But in all honesty, we don't know exactly where they exactly come from, but we could concur they might come from Nibelheim, whether it's Hojo's hand, Professor Hojo's hand creating these clones, or Sephiroth. Or maybe it could be, and here's a third theory, maybe because the life stream in Nibelheim is poisoned by Sephiroth's energy, because Sephiroth went into the Mako pit after Cloud defeated him in battle in Crisis Core. Maybe he poisoned the Mako, and maybe some people drank the water and turned into Sephiroth clones. Remember, it's not impossible for that to happen. Remember, Sephiroth split himself into 3 parts, and there were parasite Sephiroths and Advent children. Or whether you want to call it canon or not, whatever your canon you follow or not, it still happens. So maybe the poison Mako got into the people of Niflheim and the new people who moved in, and then maybe they started rebuilding Nibelheim like nothing has happened. Who knows? Or maybe Shinra paid it off and made a new Nibelheim that looked identical. Who knows? But we know we could concur that maybe it could be people drinking water in Nibelheim and becoming Sephiroth clones due to the fact that, well, the Mako in Nibelheim was extremely poisonous due to the fact that Sephiroth's life energy was in there. And maybe that's why Sephiroth smiled when he lost the Cloud, as if he came up with a new plan. Biological warfare. So tell me what you think, where they come from. I want to hear your comments below, your theories of where they might come from. These are just what my theories are, where they come from. So may the crystal be with you. Have a nice day, and I'm interested to hear your theories of where the clones come from.